Hello students, today I would like to introduce very important topic, conic section. This is conic section. In this session, I would like to discuss what is conic section, how to form conic sections, why these are called conic sections, what are the applications of conic sections, and the definition of conic with respect to the locus, and how to obtain the equation of conic and the standard form of parabola and some illustrations. Also we discuss what are the importance of the conic sections, that is applications of the conic sections. Okay. Now let us see the conic sections. Before going to define the conic section, I would like to take double right circular cone. Now, what is double right circular cone? How to form double right circular cone? First of all, let us see. Now, see this one. This is vertical line. This is called vertical axis. The perpendicular line is called what? Vertical axis. This is the another line intersect at this point. This point is called vertex. Vertex of the double right circular cone. Now I am going to generate the double right circular cone with the help of these two. How to generate this one? Fix this vertical axis and now rotate this line about this point with respect to this vertical axis. Now we get surroundings like that. We obtain double right circular cone as shown in this figure. Like that. We form a right circular cone. Why we are taking right circular cone? To form conic sections. To form what? Conic sections. This is my double right circular cone obtained from this vertical axis and this line. If you revolve this line with respect to the line about this vertex, we obtain the double right circular cone. Now, this point is called what? Vertex. This is vertical axis. We are forming this double right circular cone with the generator of this line. This is called generator. This is called what? Generator. Now, this generates the double right circular cone. That is why this line is called generator. Now, if you find the angle theta, this is say some A. It is called vertex angle. What is its name? Vertex angle. The entire chapter I am discussing vertex angle as A. Instead of theta, I am taking angle A. Vertex angle. This is vertex. Now, considering in this manner the right circular cone. Now, let us consider one plane. All of you know the shape of the plane like this. So, consider two things here. One is right circular cone, this plane. Now, if this right circular cone intersected by this plane with different angles, we get two-dimensional figures. Those figures are called conic sections. Those figures are called what? Conic sections. So, the name is coming from it's here itself. This is right circular cone. So, the sections are obtained from the right circular cone. So, we call them as conic sections. Conic sections are nothing but the two-dimensional figures obtained from the point of intersection of the double right circular cone with my plane. This is the three-dimensional figure. This is 2D figure. By intersecting these two, we obtain two-dimensional figure. Those figures are called conic sections. So, conic sections are obtained from the points of intersections of these two things. One is the right circular cone and other one is the plane. Okay. Now, let us see what are the types are intersecting, how to obtain the conic sections in this session. This is the first intersection. We obtain conic, that is like parabola. This is your parabola. How to obtain this parabola? First of all, we mentioned the angle. What is this angle? This angle A is called vertex angle. Here A is the vertex angle. Now B is the angle. What I am saying, B is the angle made by this axis with the plane. With the plane. If these two are equal, then we obtain parabola conic section. Conic is different from conic section. Conic section is two-dimensional. Conic is a three-dimensional figure. From the three-dimensional figure, we obtain the conic sections by intersection with the plane. What is here B? Angle B is the angle made by the vertical axis with my plane. This is my plane. This is my plane and this is my right circular cone. The point of intersection will be arise like this. This is called what? Parabola. How to obtain this parabola? B is what? B is the angle made by the plane with the axis. Angle between plane with axis. If these two angles are equal, we obtain the conic section, that is called parabola. A to B, we obtain the conic section parabola. How these two angles are equal from my question? This is the line, generator. This is the axis. Angle made by the generator with axis is called what? Vertex angle. Now, these two lines are parallel from the figure itself. When the lines are parallel, the angle made by this line is automatically same. Suppose two lines are like this. This is my line. If it is theta, then automatically this will be also theta. That's why if you draw a line parallel to this generator, immediately A is equals to B. In this case, we obtain the conic section like this. This is called parabola. This is the first conic section. Simply we call it as conic. Its name is what? Parabola. How to obtain this one? Angle A is equal. Remember students, what is the angle A? Vertex angle. What is B? Angle B is nothing but angle between the axis with the plane. Axis with the plane. Your plane is parallel to our generator. We obtain A is equals to B. At that time, we obtain the conic section, that is parabola. Let us see the next case. Vertex angle is equals to angle between the plane and axis, that is A is equals to B. We obtain the parabola. See this one. Next case. This is your next case. So, this is my conic. Cone. Right circular cone. Conic is 2D figure. Cone is your experimental thing. This is cone. This is your plane. What is this? This is the made by the generator with your vertical axis. This is A. It is fixed. Once if your cone is fixed, A is fixed. But your angle should be varying with the axis and your plane. This is your plane. This is the direction of your plane. And as shown in this figure, this is angle B. What is B? B is the angle between the axis and my plane. From figure itself, clearly we know that A is less than B. Am I correct or not? This is A less than B from figure itself. In this case, we obtain this type of conic section or simply conic. This is 2D figure is called ellipse. So, if A less than B, we obtain the conic, that is called an ellipse. In this case, we obtain ellipse as shown in this. So we discussed two cases. One is the parabola, other one is ellipse. If your angle B is 90 degrees, immediately we obtain circle like this. So your line intersects in this manner, we obtain circle. This is the special case, special conic. Circle is a conic. We are taking it as considered as a special case. When B is equal to 90 degrees, we get conic, that is called circle. Here special case is circle. The main thing is here ellipse. Okay. Vertex angle is less than angle between the plane and axis, that must and should be less than 90 degrees. That is A less than B less than 90 degrees, we obtain conic, that is ellipse. Now let us see the third one. This is the third case. This is also one of the important case. Clearly this is angle A, angle made by the axis with the generator. This is angle A. This is fixed when cone is fixed. What is angle B here? This is B. B is the angle between plane and your vertical axis. Don't forget, B is the angle between the vertical line and your axis. If your B is less value, that means if A greater than B, in previous case A less than B, here A greater than B, then your plane cuts the two parts of your right circular cone. In this case, we obtain this type of diagram. This type of section will arise. This is called hyperbola. It has two symmetrical branches. These two branches do not intersect each other. Am I correct or not? So in this case, we obtain this conic section, that is hyperbola. Conic or conic section. Cone is different from conic or conic section. Cone is your experimental thing. Conics or conic sections are obtained from this cone by intersecting your plane. Understand? These are the major three conic sections: parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. Now it is a summary time. What I explained previously, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, I would like to show all these things, three things, by some animation. Here vertical angle is greater than angle between the plane and the axis, that is A greater than B, we obtain hyperbola. Now let us summarize all these things. Now this is the generator. They intersect at this point. This point is what? Vertex. This point is your vertex. With the help of generator, I am going to generate the conic section. Now it generates the double right circular cone like this. This is your vertex. Now these are two portions. This is upper portion and this is lower portion. This is called the vertex of the cone. Now this is the generator, and this generator, this is said to be axis, already we explained. This is the base, it is of the form circular. With the help of this circle, this is axis is always perpendicular to this base. This is the circular base as shown in this figure. This is called directrix. What is it called? Directrix. Now this is base, this is the lower part, this is the nape. It is called lower nape. it is below the vertex. This is called upper nape. It is above the vertex. So there are two napes. One is upper nape and other one is the lower nape. So this is the vertex. This is the way to construct the double slides. Double right circular cone. This is vertical angle. Angle made by the axis with that one. Already I explained all these things. This is my plane intersects at different positions of my cone. We obtain the conic sections as shown in this figure. So this is the conic section. As shown in this figure, this is ellipse. This is the circle. We obtain, this is ellipse. The angle is more than the vertical angle. We form such type of the conic sections. This is the parabola. This is the hyperbola. Now I explain one by one. Ellipse. Now my plane intersects this cone such a way that the angle B is more than the angle A. This is angle B more than A. We obtain ellipse. This is our second cone as we explained previously. Second conic. When it is 90 degrees, we obtain the special case. Already we discussed it, that is circle. Right? Now, this is ellipse. Next, let us see the conic parabola. How to obtain parabola? Angle A is equals to B. We obtain the parabola. Here, A is equals to B. This is the case. A equal to B. We obtain the parabola. Now, let us see the third case. When the angle made by the axis with our plane is less than vertical angle, that is the vertex angle, parabola as shown in this figure. This is ellipse. From ellipse we obtain parabola. From that parabola we obtain hyperbola like this. Your angle A is greater than B. That means B less than A. We obtain the conic hyperbola. Also, we have degenerated conics. This is the hyperbola. Let us see how to obtain the degenerate conics. Degenerate conics. How to obtain this one? Your plane passing through the vertex of your cone. This is your cone. This is the vertex of cone. This is angle B is more than A. In this case, we obtain the point. In this second case, we obtain straight line. In the third case, we obtain pair of straight lines. Third case, we obtain the pair of straight lines. These are the three degenerate conics. Degenerate conics. Here, we obtain the point when B greater than A. We obtain the straight line when B is equals to A. And we obtain pair of lines. These are the pair of lines when A greater than B. This is the point. It is the plane passing through the vertex and the angle made with the line is more than the vertex angle. Here we obtain the point. Instead of ellipse we obtain point. Instead of hyperbola we obtain pair of straight lines. Instead of parabola we obtain single line. Here A is equal to B. Actually we get parabola, but in this case we obtain straight line. Actually this is hyperbola. In this case we obtain pair of intersecting lines. Actually this is ellipse or circle. In this case we just obtain the point. This is the summary about the conic sections. How we are obtain the conics from cone with the intersection of line. Understand? Now let us see the applications of our conic. What are the applications? If you read or study something, the major thing is what is the importance of the topic. Let us see the importance of the topic, that is applications of your conic. Like this. These are the applications. Let us see. First one is parabola. What is its application? This is the most important application for you. This is disk tower. These are the waves coming from the source and which are parallel to this line, radio waves. The radio waves are passing parallel to this line, intersects the parabolic shape, the waves will reflected and meet at this point. This is the important thing here. If your face is not in this manner, they will not reflect, even though they reflect, they will not focus at some point. They will not focus at this point. If your shape is in the parabolic way, all these reflected rays meet at this point. Am I correct or not? So, the main advantage of the parabolic antenna is that it has high directivity. It gives the high directivity with the help of this parabolic shape. All of you know that the path of projectile is parabola. We can, with the help of the shape of the parabola, we can find the speed of the particle when it touches the base. Like that. We use the concept, parabola concept here is also. So this is the one of the important application related to the parabola. Now let us see the application of ellipse. So ellipses play very important role in your solar system. So all the planets moves around the sun in the elliptical shape. We can find the distance between the two planets with the help of the path of the ellipse equations. By framing the equations of the ellipse itself, we can find out the distance between the two planets. So ellipse is the concept which is used in the planar system, that is the solar system. Hyperbola. This is the shape. In factories, almost we look this shape. It is a hyperboloid shape. Now, nuclear cooling towers, hyperbolic shape. The nuclear towers should always in the form of hyperbolic shape. This shape is used due to its ability to withstand high winds. So, if you frame in this shape, it takes high winds with the ability to withstand high winds, and with less material. With the less material, we give the maximum volume. It gives the maximum volume. So, in this type of the conductors will be concluded, nuclear cooling towers should be framed in the manner of hyperbolic shape. That is why we use the hyperbolic shapes in this manner. Okay. Now, main advantages with the help of these things in your daily life. When you switch on the light, we obtain the hyperbolic shape. In daily rotations, we look this type of hyperbolas. Now, conic section as a locus of point. Let us see this one. Conic section as locus of point. How to define this one? Up to we have seen what are conic sections obtained from the cone to the, by cutting with the help of the plane, and what are the importance of the conic sections. Now, once if you have some concept, we have to generalize that one. We develop that subject through the algebra. How to define algebraically the conic section? Let us see. Consider a fixed point. This fixed point is S. This is called focus. After completion of conic section, if I ask somebody what is focus, no one can tell. The focus is nothing but a fixed point. Remember that. I am going to define the conic section with the help of the locus of point. This is the fixed point called focus. This is my fixed line is called directrix. This is line L called directrix. This is called directrix. Now, I am going to find some locus of the point P such a way that SP and PM are always makes constant ratio. That is, SP by PM is always constant then the locus of P is called conic or conic section. This is the algebraic definition. Already we know how to obtain the conic sections from cone. This is the mathematical definition. Consider a fixed point, consider one fixed line. This line not passing through my fixed point. Note that. At that time, we are collecting all such type of points such that the ratio SP and PM. That means what? SP by PM is always constant. It is denoted by E. It is called eccentricity of the conic. It is called eccentricity of conic. Now, how to define the conic section? Let P be a point which moves in the plane so that the locus of point which moves in the plane so that its distance from fixed point bears a constant ratio to its distance from the fixed line is called conic or conic section, not cone. Conic or conic section. So immediately if you take the point here itself, suppose the distance from here to here and here to here maintains the same E, we take this point as also a collection of your locus. Suppose this is the point, this is SP, this is PM. If the ratio is equal to E, you take that one is also a collection of your locus. If you collect all these points, we get some locus. That locus is called what? Conic. So the ratio must and should be maintained equally. What is circle? The set of points which are equidistant from the given fixed point is called circle. In the same manner, we define the conic here. So, to construct a conic, what are the three major things you have to use? The three major things are, one is the fixed point focus and fixed line directrix. The line should not be passing through your focus. This is the thing. Now we have to collect all the points in the plane such a way that SP by PM is always equal to constant. Then such type of locus is called conic or conic section. SP is 2-point distance, PM is the perpendicular distance. Its ratio must and should be maintained constant even though its lengths are varying. Suppose 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 3 by 6 like that and so on like that. We obtain the same ratio, that is 0.5. So SP sometimes 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, but corresponding PMs are 2, 4, 6 like that. Even though their ratio is maintained same constant, then you obtain some conic. If your ratio E is equals to 1, we say that the conic is called parabola. Your conic is parabola. If E less than 1, your conic is called ellipse. If E greater than 1, your conic is called hyperbola. In this manner, we define the conic section. SP by PM is equals to what? E here. E is equals to 1, we obtain parabola. E less than 1, we obtain ellipse. E greater than 1, we obtain hyperbola. In this manner, we can define the conic section as locus of point. Once if you know the focus, that is the fixed point, and directrix with eccentricity E, can you write the equation of conic or not? Yes, we can easily write the equation of the conic. Let us see. This is the fixed point, SP by PM. This is SP and this is PM. SP by PM is constant. Now, equation of conic section. How to obtain the equation of the conic section? In the same manner, we consider the fixed point S. This is the fixed line. This is the fixed line L. In the same plane not passing through S, let a point which is moving on the plane such that SP by PM is constant. Now we have to find out the locus of P. We obtain the locus, that is conic section. How to write this equation now? We need fixed point focus S. Let S is equals to x1 comma y1 be the fixed point, and line L is equals to Lx plus My plus n equal to 0 is the fixed line. This is not passing through your fixed point S. Its eccentricity is, say, E. What is E here? Now let us see how to obtain the equation of conic section. In previously we defined with respect to locus of the conic section. Now how to find the equation of conic section? To obtain the equation of conic section, what are the required things here? Fixed point. This is your fixed point S is equal to, say, x1 comma y1. This is x1 comma y1. Consider the fixed line. This is L. Its equation is, say, ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. This is your fixed line. And E be the eccentricity of the conic. How to define the conic? The locus of point which moves in the plane so that the ratio of SP and PM is always equal to what? Your E. Then we obtain the equation of the conic section. What is SP? 2 point distance. What is PM? Perpendicular distance. So for sake of convenience, some position of P, the coordinates are, say, h comma k. By definition of conic, SP by PM is equals to E. Now SP is equals to PM into E. Squaring on both sides, what happened? SP square is equals to E square into PM square. SP square means what? That is h minus x1 whole square, 2 point distance, plus k minus y1 whole square is equals to E square into modulus of PM, that is perpendicular distance from P to the directrix. What is that now? A into H plus BK plus C by root of A square plus B square. Just by squaring and cross multiplying and write the locus of h comma k, we obtain A square plus B square into x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square is equals to E square into ax plus by plus c whole square. This is the second degree equation. This is your second degree equation. It is not resolved into the product of two linear factors. That is why it is called conic. Pair of straight line equation is also second degree, but that can be split into the two linear equations. Here, this is a second degree equation, represents conic. Here, delta not equal to 0. Delta not equal to 0. So, we obtain this conic section equation. This is second degree equation obtained in this manner. Once if you know the focus, directrix and eccentricity, we can build up the equation of the conic section. Understand? If your E greater than 1, what happened? Hyperbola. E less than 1, what happened? Ellipse. If E is equal to 1, we obtain parabola. Okay. Now, let us see the important terms of this conic section. What are they? Number one is axis. What is meant by axis? You have the focus. This is your fixed point. This is your fixed line, that is called directrix. The line passing through focus and perpendicular to your directrix is called axis. This is your axis. Am I correct or not? This is the directrix. This is your focus. Line passing through focus perpendicular to directrix is called your axis. Now the next one is vertex. Where this axis meets my conic is called vertex of the conic. Suppose your conic is like this. This is my axis. Intersect the conic at this point. This is called vertex of the conic. Suppose your conic is ellipse like that. This is the vertex of the ellipse. There exists two vertices for ellipse. This is another point of intersection also. And third one is focal chord. A chord means what? This is a cone. This is a chord. The line joining of any 2 points on the conic is called chord. If my chord passing through focus, called focal chord. A chord which is passing through focus is called what? Focal chord. This is your conic section ellipse. This is the focus, fixed point. If it is passing through this focus is called focal chord. You can draw infinite number of focal chords to this ellipse through the focus as shown in this figure. Now, let us see the definition. Double ordinate. You know, this is some conic. This is the axis of the conic. If you draw a line which is perpendicular to this axis called double ordinate. This is called double ordinate. You can draw infinite number of double ordinates. Let us see the next definition. Latus rectum. It is one of the double ordinate. The speciality is it is passing through your focus. The line passing through focus perpendicular to axis is called latus rectum. The latus rectum is a double ordinate which is passing through focus. Which is passing through the focus. In this manner, we have to define these things. One is axis, other one is vertex, focal chord, double ordinate, latus rectum. Just a summary one time. Axis is the line passing through focus perpendicular to my directrix. What is focus? Fixed point. What is directrix? Fixed line. Now this is the line passing through focus perpendicular to this directrix is called what? Axis. Where the axis meets my conic is called vertex. This is axis, this is the vertex. Chord means the line joining of any 2 points on conic is called chord. If it is passing through my focus is called focal chord. Double ordinate is the line perpendicular to axis. You can draw infinite number of double ordinates. But the latus rectum is depend upon the number of foci of the conic. The latus rectum is the line which is perpendicular to the axis at the same time passing through your focus S. These are the definitions. Now let us see one more definition. Focal distance of point. Very, very important definition. Focal distance means what? P is any point on your conic. S is your corresponding focus. The distance SP is called focal distance of the point. Suppose this is your conic section, parabola say. This is your axis. This is your focus. This is the directrix. If P is any point on your parabola, the distance SP is called focal distance. The distance SP is called what? Focal distance. This is your focus. This is your point P. SP distance is focal distance. Suppose your point is moving from here to here, the distance is the focal distance of this another corresponding point Q. If the point is changed, the focal distance is automatically changed for the same conic. Your focus is fixed point. This is fixed line. SP is the focal distance. This is the summary about all these the important terms of the conic section, right? Let us see the standard equation of the parabola. Let us see the standard equation of parabola. Your first conic is parabola. Now let us see the standard equation of parabola. How to derive the standard equation of parabola? The standard equation of parabola with focus is at a comma 0 and the directrix is x plus a equal to 0. It is a greater than 0 is y square is equal to 4ax. Standard form of the parabola. We are go through the subject just like that. This is the very, very important concept. y square is equals to 4ax is the standard equation of the parabola. How to derive the conic section? We need some focus and directrix. How to construct obtain the focus and directrix like this? Let us see. This is your fixed point S as shown in this figure. What is the fixed point? This is called what? Focus. Consider the fixed line L as shown in this figure. This is the fixed line. Draw a line SZ perpendicular from S to L. This is SZ. We are draw the line perpendicular from focus to S to L. What I am doing here? Construction of the parabola y square is equal to 4ax. How to obtain focus a comma 0 and directrix equation x plus a equal to 0. This is the line SZ. This is midpoint of SZ. Take A. A is the midpoint of SZ as shown in the figure. Don't forget. This is the construction of the parabola y square is equal to 4ax. Don't forget. A is what? Midpoint of SZ. Choose AS is equals to A, then automatically AZ is equals to small a. Am I correct or not? Now choose A as origin and the line AS as x-axis. This is origin. I am choosing A as origin and AS as your x-axis. Okay. Origin A and AS as your x-axis. And the line passing through A perpendicular to AS is your y-axis. The entire thing is what? Construction of the parabola. Now tell me, what are the coordinates of S? We are choosing A as origin. S is at a distance A units rightwards to the x-axis. So immediately the coordinates of S are what? A comma 0. Now tell me, what are the coordinates of Z? This is minus a comma 0 because Z is on x-axis which is A units left side of origin. So the coordinates of Z are minus a comma 0. Can you write this equation or not? What is the equation of y-axis? X equal to 0. Any line parallel to x-axis is of the form x equal to k. X equal to k passing through what? Minus a comma 0. Substitute this point here. Minus a is equal to k. Substitute k value here. We obtain x plus a equal to 0 is the equation of directrix. In this manner, we can define the coordinates of focus and directrix. Once if you know the focus and directrix, immediately you can write the equation of the parabola. How to write this one? What is the eccentricity of the parabola? 1. SP by PM is always 1. Let us take any point on the parabola. This is my one of the point which is on the parabola. What is my definition? The distance from SP and the distance from PM is always equal. That is, SP by PM is always constant and that constant is equal to what? 1. SP is equals to PM. Implies SP square is equals to PM square. SP square means what? The distance from point to the S. Choose your point. Locus point is say x1 comma y1. So x1 minus a whole square plus y1 minus 0 whole square is equal to the perpendicular distance from P to the directrix. X1 plus a by root 1 modulus whole square. Implies what? X1 minus a whole square plus y1 square is equal to x1 plus a whole square. Implies x1 plus a whole square minus x1 minus a whole square is equal to y1 square. What is of the form? A minus a minus b whole square. That is 4ab. Implies 4a x1 is equals to y1 square. This is the condition for all x1 comma y1 on my parabola. So can you write the locus of this one or not? What is the locus now? The locus is nothing but y square is equals to 4ax. In this manner we can derive the standard form of the parabola. So remember students, to write the equation of parabola or any conic, we need one fixed point and directrix, that is the fixed line, and eccentricity. What is eccentricity? Constant ratio from SP to PM. SP is 2-point distance and PM is perpendicular distance. Once if you know the ratio is constant, which is equal to 1, your conic is what? Parabola. In the first part, we construct the parabola. These are the focus and direct, and obtain the derivation by SP by PM is equal to 1. By writing the locus, we obtain the parabola in this manner. This is the equation of the parabola. This is the corresponding shape of the parabola. Are you followed or not? Okay, SP by PM is equals to 1. Now let us see the 4 standard forms of the parabola. This is x-axis, it is its corresponding y-axis. Already we discussed one important parabola, y square is equal to 4ax. This is my y square is equals to 4ax, and this is another parabola, x square is equal to 4ay. This is your first parabola. If we rotate the axis 90 degrees, we obtain the another parabola, x square is equals to 4ay. And if you rotate 90 degrees again, we obtain the another. His equation is y square is equals to minus 4ax. If you rotate 90 degrees again, we obtain this parabola. What is that? X square is equals to minus 4ay. What is our main first parabola? Y square is equal to 4ax. Y square equal to 4ax, x square equal to 4ay, y square equal to minus 4ax, x square is equal to minus 4ay. These are the 4 standard forms of your parabola. If you consider the main standard form, y square is equals to 4ax, I recall all these things. What is your vertex? Vertex means where your axis meets the conic, that is origin. The point of intersection of x-axis with y square equal to 4ax is origin. What is your fixed point focus? Already we constructed, that is a comma 0. What is your fixed line? Directrix. Directrix. What is its equation obtained? A equal to 0. Vertex 0, 0. Focus a comma 0. Directrix x plus a equal to 0. For my parabola, y square is equals to 4ax. This is the directrix. This is the focus. This is the vertex of the parabola. This is the foot of directrix. Foot of directrix is what? Minus a comma 0. Length of latus rectum. This is the latus rectum. What is meant by latus rectum? The distance from here to here. That is the focal chord perpendicular to axis is latus rectum. If you derive the length of latus rectum as 4a. What is the axis equation here? Axis is x-axis, its equation is y equal to 0. Axis, vertex, focus, directrix, foot of directrix, length of latus rectum. All these things can be derived for all the x square is equals to 4ay and x square is equal to minus 4ay, like that. This is the standard form of the parabola. From that standard form, we can remaining 3 standard forms also. Totally we have 4 standard forms like y square equal to 4ax, x square equal to 4by, and y square equal to minus 4ax, and x square is equals to minus 4ay, like that. Okay. And finally, let us see one small problem. If a parabolic reflection is 20 centimeters as diameter and 5 centimeters in deep, then find the focus of the parabola. The parabolic shape of the reflector is there. Its 20 centimeters is what? Its diameter. What is its deep now? 5 centimeters. Now we have to find out the focus of the parabola. Let us see this figure. This is the parabola. This is the diameter. What is its distance from here to here? They are given 20 centimeters. And its deep is what? 5 centimeters. If you choose this as x-axis and it will be y-axis, what is the form here? Y square is equal to 4ax. Now we have to find out the focus of the parabola. You have to find out the coordinates of this point. We have to find out the coordinates of this point. that is focus. Focus means what here? Fixed point. We are find out the coordinates of focus for this problem. Now, this is origin. The distance from here to here is 5 units. Can you say, what is the distance from here to here? Here to here is 10 units, because axis is symmetric. The curve is symmetric about your axis. That is why total distance is 20, so its half is 10 units. So the distance from here to here is 5 and here to here is 10. Can you write the coordinates of this point or not? The coordinates of this point is 5, 10. The coordinate is 5, 10. Now 5, 10 lies on my parabola. Substitute, we get 10 square, that is 100, is equal to 4a times of 5. 4 5s are 20. 20 cancel out in 5 times. So the value of a is equals to 5. Once if you know the value of a, for the standard form of the parabola, the focus is what? 5, 0. This is a, 0. In this manner, we can easily write the focus. So you just write the coordinates of this point, then your job is over. So y square is equal to 4ax for this reflector. It is the diameter, it is its deep. Once if you know these two things, we can find the focus of the parabola. Your focus of parabola is what? 5, 0. Once if you know this point, you can derive all these things from directrix equation also. You can write the equation of the axis like that. So for this problem, reflector diameter is given to you, deep is also given to you. You can find the coordinates of the focus by doing in this manner, just by finding the coordinates of your extremity. What are the coordinates of this point also? You can, this is 5, -10. So the distance from here to here is 20 units, like that. So what is the coordinates of focus? 5, 0. Thank you.